On the scene, on the story, News 9 starts now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. News 9 at noon. I'm Chris Gilmore and with me is meteorologist Matt Mahler. Matt, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's cold outside.
It's cold outside. It's been cold for ever since New Year's Eve when that cold front came through. And we've also been talking about it, our big winter storm on the way. And we've already had a little light precip this morning down in Johnston County, which is just north of Medill. So this area here, already some light icing reported on the bridges and overpasses, some of the elevated surfaces there in southeast Oklahoma. Also a report of some light freezing drizzle in Durant. We had a little bit of light precip move through central Oklahoma a little earlier this morning around 10. So we're going to call about a 20% chance that we see some more of that as we go through the afternoon. 27 degrees now, a calm wind live from our Air Comfort Skycam network. There's the Skydance Bridge over I-40 looking to the south through downtown. Hour by hour today, it's not going to get much warmer. We'll stay below freezing in the metro. 31 degrees at 4 o'clock, then back to 30 for your evening. A 20% chance of a little light freezing rain or sleet. Wind chill will stay in the 20s and the wind will stay light. So because of that possibility of a little light freezing drizzle or sleet, a travel advisory for central, southern, southwestern Oklahoma in effect until 6 o'clock. A few slick spots will be possible, and then the winter storm watch takes over tonight into your Friday morning. So it goes all through Thursday for all of central, western, and southern Oklahoma. Temperatures now, mainly 20s, a few 30s out there in northwest Oklahoma, where there's actually been some sun. Wind is mainly out of the north, but it's turning to the south this afternoon. Wind chill in the 20s. So light freezing rain and a mix today. Few slick spots. We'll update the winter storm, give you totals for ice, sleet, and snow coming up here, 12:15. Chris.
Thanks, Matt. Well, many agencies across the state are preparing for the upcoming weather. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation, for instance, will attach more than 200 cameras to plows. That footage will be streamed on the agency's app for the iPhone. An app for the Android is expected as well. Drivers are also encouraged to look at traffic cams and road closures on ODOT's website. And if it does get bad on the roads, Oklahoma City and ODOT crews will be clearing off city streets that are designated snow routes. Now, most of the downtown business district will be cleared, as well as major streets around Oklahoma City. You can see a full map on our website. And you can always get the latest weather information on News 9 mobile app. There you'll find updates from Matt, Cassie, David, and our whole weather team, plus live radar and more. Moving on, 2 people were taken to the hospital this morning after being hit by an EMSA ambulance. This happened just after 4 a.m. near Southeast 29th in Durland. Officials say 2 bicyclists were trying to cross the road where the ambulance was driving. The EMSA driver was unable to swerve in time and hit them. As a result, no one in the ambulance was injured. The 2 victims were taken to the hospital with non-critical injuries. Well, a Putnam City teaching assistant is facing charges after allegedly sending pornographic pictures to a former student. Detectives say Marcus Douglas sent the 17-year-old girl 16 pages worth of messages and explicit images. He also allegedly sent her pictures of 2 unknown adults having sex. We've been told by a man who claims to be his relative that Douglas is no longer teaching. He's been ordered to have no further contact with the victim. Next, an Uber driver in Muskogee was a victim of a carjacking on New Year's Eve while on the job. Jessica Hedges says she had just picked up a man when he demanded he give her the car.
He pulled a weapon, which indeed looked like a pistol, and pointed it at my face and said, "Get out of the car." He said, "Leave your keys in there, leave your phone, get out of the car."
Her phone and called 911. A state trooper arrested the man 25 miles away in Coweta. The car only had minimal damage. And the man has his piece of construction equipment back after it was allegedly stolen by thieves. Wayne Null says his Cat 950 went missing back in early December. After he offered a $10,000 reward, he got a tip and found the front loader south of Yukon near Highway 92. Null said he called police and then drove his property back to his own job site. He says he's added extra security to the site. Well, happening today, Oklahoma's new city manager will be sworn into office. Craig Freeman will take over the city's longest-serving city manager, James Couch. Couch served as city manager for 18 years and oversaw the move of the Thunder to OKC. Freeman has served as the city's finance director since 2011. And Governor Mary Fallon's Secretary of Agriculture has announced his resignation. Jim Reese submitted his resignation letter to Governor Fallon earlier this week. This is just 2 weeks before the inauguration of Governor-elect Kevin Stitt. Now, Stitt has chosen Oklahoma 4-H Foundation Executive Director Blaine Arthur to be his new Secretary of Agriculture. Governor-elect Kevin Stitt also announced that Oklahoma's own Toby Keith will perform at the inaugural ball, which is set for January 14th. Now, tickets are $250 apiece. All the proceeds, though, go to various charities. Also, President Trump has invited congressional leaders to the Situation Room at the White House for a briefing on border security. This comes as we've reached day 12 of the shutdown, and a solution doesn't appear to be in sight. Nicole Killian has more details from the White House.
President Trump is focusing on border security today. The president is hosting congressional leaders at the White House this afternoon for a briefing with the Border Patrol. This will be the first face-to-face talks between the president and Democratic leaders since December 11th, when he said he would take responsibility for a government shutdown.
I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it.
That partial shutdown is now in its 12th day, and as of today, the Smithsonian Museums and National Zoo are now closed after running out of money. Democrats gain more leverage for the negotiations tomorrow when they take control of the House of Representatives. They say they're ready on day one to pass a bill to reopen the government. House Democrats are proposing a plan that fully funds all of the government agencies now closed except for the Department of Homeland Security. DHS would get funded with a short-term bill that includes $1.3 billion for border security, but not the wall.
The president should sign it unless he simply wants to deliberately create an artificial shutdown of a good part of the government in which this wall controversy has nothing to do with.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders called the Democrats' plan a non-starter. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Well, still ahead, it might seem like it just ended, but more construction on I-235 is expected this year. Plus, the new Oklahoma liquor laws are affecting some local businesses. We'll tell you how. But first, a new report on Oklahoma earthquakes has been released. We'll give you the details. Stay with us. Welcome back. New data from the Oklahoma Geological Survey shows us our state is seeing fewer than the 3.0 earthquakes that we've had in previous years. Now, in 2017, there were over 300 earthquakes of that magnitude. Last year, it went down to a little less than 200. The OGS says stronger tremors have been decreasing since oil and natural gas companies have decreased their injection of wastewater into wells. And it might seem like the construction on I-235 just ended, but more is expected to start later this year. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation says it will spend $105 million on the next expansion project for I-235. Now, officials say 11 bridges will be built or repaired within a mile of the I-40 interchange. Lanes will also be added to create a 4-level interchange. Though this is expected to start in the spring, ODOT officials want you to start thinking of detours now. And Oklahoma Highway Patrol troopers have a new tool to crack down on drunk drivers in 2019. A new OHP Tahoe will be installed with an intoxilizer. That's a device used to test people suspected of drinking and driving. OHP says this is the first of its kind. They'll start using it sometime next month.
Well, we've already had reports of a little light freezing drizzle and light ice down in southeast Oklahoma from Durant up to Atoka and Colgate. We may see some here in the Metro, plus the rest of your winter storm details all headed your way after the break.
Plus, how the new liquor laws are affecting local businesses. It's all next.
On the scene, on the story, this is News 9.
Well, it's been about 3 months since the new liquor laws took effect. One local liquor store owner says the new laws are impacting his business. He's seen a decrease in wine sales. News 9's Ashley Holden has more.
Across the board, the owner of Bacchus Wine and Spirits says he's seen a 10 to 25% decrease when it comes to sales on various wines. That's when he compares months from 2018 to 2017. Now, a reminder, these new liquor laws took effect back in October. The changes allowed grocery and convenience stores to sell strong beer and wine, among other new rules. The owner of Bacchus pointed out many different issues he sees with the new laws, but in order to try and figure figure out a way to supplement sales, he started selling accessories and items like mixers. The new law made this an option for liquor stores, but it can't account for more than 20% of monthly sales.
I don't know if we can get back up to where we were, but there's always alternative things to look at. Unlike the stores that can now also sell wine, they have no cap. So we've got to figure out how to stay under that 20% and supplement what we've lost in sales.
According to News OK, the Able Commission did report a drop in the number of liquor stores across the state just this past October. We have reached out to the Able Commission for updated numbers, but have not heard back yet. On the scene on the story in Edmond, Ashley Holden, News 9.
Some breaking news we do have for you. We know that Jim Gardner and Bob Mills, Sky News 9, is on his way to a gas leak. We'll have more information coming up, but in the meantime, we do want to take a quick look at weather, Matt.
Yeah, there's been winter weather talking about. It's been cold. We've had a little freezing drizzle, sleet mix around there this morning, and we could still see some. We saw some this morning around El Reno, Oklahoma City. There's been a little light precipitation. Already seen some reports from Durant over toward Medill and farther north, and Johnston County down there in southeast Oklahoma near Lake Texoma of a little ice accumulating on some of the elevated surfaces, bridges becoming slick in that part of the state between Ada, Colgate, Atoka, Durant, and Medill. So that's where the precipitation has been. There might be some up in Green Country as well, and you see that surge of moisture trying to work its way up from the south. So we're going to keep a low chance of some very light sleet or maybe a little light freezing drizzle here in central southwest Oklahoma all the way through the rest of your afternoon and evening. 27 degrees live from our Air Comfort SkyCam network. There's the Skydance Bridge. We're looking to the south. That's I-40. Calm wind right now. Very thankful that during this cold stretch, the wind hasn't been too bad since the front came through. 30 degrees at 3 o'clock, 31 at 4. We'll stay in the low 30s, upper 20s, but it'll feel like the mid 20s all day with just that light wind that'll turn to the south around 5 o'clock. And again, that 20% chance of a little light freezing drizzle or sleet showing up. National Weather Service issuing a travel advisory for central, southern, southwest Oklahoma. Few slick spots will be possible, nothing too crazy. And then tonight through your Thursday on into Friday morning, a winter storm watch for central, western, and southern Oklahoma as our next big surge of moisture in the main storm system finally comes out of the southwest U.S. here into Oklahoma. So 20s and 30s right now, a little more sunshine up in northwest Oklahoma. Wind is very, very light, kind of variable direction right now, 0 to 5 to up to 10 miles per hour. So where there is wind, a little bit of a wind chill, mid to upper 20s, some low 20s down to the south. So high temperatures today, low 30s, some mid 30s to the northwest. It's going to be a very light wind, a little light freezing rain or drizzle or sleet. Few slick spots will be possible. Our water vapor imagery showing you where that winter storm is right now. Look at the big spin there over Phoenix, Tucson. Already some snow in Tucson from this event. This storm is now going to start moving east toward Oklahoma, and the track of that storm from Arizona all the way to Oklahoma is going to be a big tell in where we get the heaviest precipitation. So let's break it down. Here's Futurecast. Later this evening into tonight, a little more moisture shows up I-40 south. That would be a mixture of rain and freezing rain. If you're below freezing, once the rain hits the surface, it freezes. So this is likely going to start maybe a freezing rain mix, a few slick spots possible through tonight. And then as we go into tomorrow morning, the moisture starts to increase a little more. 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, a little more moisture around here in the metro, parts of northern Oklahoma, and then all snow developing down in southwestern Oklahoma. Now as we head toward 9 a.m. tomorrow, it looks like there's snow developing from Altus and Hobart over toward Lawton, Duncan, that area, over toward Ardmore. It's still probably a freezing rain here in Oklahoma City. Now the big question is what happens after that? Some of the data coming in just about an hour ago is showing the storm system tracking just a touch farther north, and that would push some of the higher snowfall totals into Oklahoma City. The trend has been to keep the storm a little farther south, which would keep the highest totals closer to the Red River. Right now, it could still go either way. That's what we're trying to figure out. This has not been an easy system to try to forecast for. However, as we go into Thursday evening, Thursday night, the system pulls away and we're partly cloudy by midday on Friday. So this afternoon and evening, just that slight chance of a little light freezing rain and sleet. Road conditions would be slick spots at best. Nothing too heavy. That will likely change tonight and tomorrow. So I'm going to keep the snow tonight, tomorrow morning in southwest Oklahoma. Slight chance of some freezing rain. We'll call that a moderate chance, 40% here in Oklahoma City. And I'm going to keep the snow just kind of on the central and south side of the metro for now. This could and likely will still change later this evening and tonight. Snowfall totals bumped these north just a touch. Still think the highest amounts will be in far southwest Oklahoma as far as ice goes. A glaze to maybe 1/10 of an inch to the south and to the east, enough to cause a few slick spots on the roadways. So your 9-day forecast, temperatures staying around freezing for the next couple of days. By Friday, this thing is out of here, 46 degrees, and you'll wonder where winter went by Sunday and Monday. Upper 50s, low 60s. Another weak system comes in here on Monday, gives us a slight chance of rain, but it'd be all liquid if we get anything at all. But winter storm possible through the day tomorrow.
Storms are coming, huh, man?
Yes, it is.
You get excited about that, I know. A new Obamacare mandate has gone into effect. We'll tell you what it means for you. But first, Robin Marsh is here with your Medical Minute. It's all coming up next. Doctors say being a living organ donor is safer and easier than you think. News 9's Robin Marsh has more in today's Medical Minute.
Hard to believe more than 95,000 Americans are waiting for a kidney transplant right now. And most will wait an average of 5 to 10 years for a good kidney from a deceased donor. But since you only need one good kidney to be healthy, donating a kidney to someone in need is much safer than most people actually realize.
They're up and walking and eating and drinking the day after the surgery. The pain usually is well controlled.
Dr. Michael Prito is a Mayo Clinic transplant surgeon. He performs multiple kidney transplants a week. He says surgeons have been performing living kidney transplants for more than 50 years, and the risk for complications or future kidney problems are lower than you might think.
Kidney donation does not increase your chances of having kidney failure, really. And if you end up having that, which is a low chance, you will have some benefits from having been a donor.
The doctor says overall, kidney donation is a fairly safe way to save a life.
We would not be doing this if we were seeing people, healthy people, getting hurt by donating a kidney.
For today's Medical Minute, I'm Robin Marsh.
And we do have some breaking news for you. Oklahoma City fire crews are on the scene of an apparent gas leak. Jim Gardner and Bob Mills, Sky News 9 is above the scene right now. Jim, what can you tell us?
Well, like you said, right now, ONG and Oklahoma City Hazmat and Oklahoma City Fire Department are on the scene of a gas leak here at the Neighbors Coffee warehouse. Now, as we pull back wide here, we'll show you on Street Scope. This is located at Northeast 12th and North Oklahoma Avenue, just on the west side of Broadway Extension here. But I believe it's in this trench right here that you're going to see on that building right there. It looks like they're renovating. They got a trench. Everybody's been looking at that trench right there. So I believe that's where the gas leak happened. I don't think it happened right inside the warehouse this time. The good thing is all the Neighbors Coffee employees have been evacuated. There's no injuries involved in this. We'll keep you updated. Jim Gardner reporting live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Thank you. And we just got word from our desk, Jim, that they did stop the leak. So that's an important update there. There were 50 evacuated employees. They should be somewhat safer now. Moving on, though, a new Obamacare mandate went into effect yesterday. Now hospitals must post a list of how much any procedure will cost online. The federal government says this will help patients make informed medical decisions, but some say the list doesn't always include everything that will end up on the final bill.
We would advise any patient to call their hospital, get an estimate of what this is going to cost, understand their health insurance plan to understand what out-of-pocket costs will mean, and then lastly, it's also important to do the same thing with the physician charges because those aren't included in the hospital prices.
The Hospital Association says it's better to know the average price of a procedure. Now let's take a look outside from our Air Comfort Skycam network. A chilly day for sure. Matt has a look at the 9-day forecast coming right up. And that's all the time we have for now. Thanks for joining us at noon. We'll be back here at 4 o'clock.